Hello there, welcome back. So this is the third installation of the routers that I'm testing, and this is the last contender. It's the ASUS AX3000 dual band RT AX3000. Why did they have to repeat it, right? It's AX3000 and RTX. Seriously, the naming convention, they could just, they have to figure out some better naming on these stuff. So I don't want to hold you up with the details anyway. So for those TLDW or TLDR, TLDW basically, this is as fast as the Netgear Nighthawk. I'm actually keeping this router. So the Netgear Nighthawk and this AX3000, they've got similar speeds, but this one has the auto firmware update, so it's already scheduled in the router. It has the auto reboot too, which is one of the features that I really like. So I've set it to reboot thrice a week right now, and ever since I installed it, I never had to pretty much go in and fix something or anything there. The only time I went there was to set up the Wake on LAN on one of my PC, just playing around with the app and turning on the Wake on LAN feature basically. So I needed to put a static IP on one of the computers just for that feature. But otherwise, yep, this router is great. I've had it for a couple of months now, and pretty much the big reason why I'm keeping this one too is because of the same speed as the Nighthawk. It maxes out the speed that I have for my service, and then this one pretty much has a 2-year warranty. Not that I hope I don't need it. I hope I don't need it. The Netgear, I believe, has a 1-year warranty. I just hope I don't have to use it, but just in case, at least you have a 2-year warranty. And yep, considering my last ASUS router, the previous one, I've had it for years and I never had any issues with it. So I'm hoping it's the same with this router. So if you want to check out the unboxing, yeah, go ahead. I'll post the separate links down below for the unboxing, and then also the setup of the router. Just remember though, I'm not using any of their apps, and I'm not downloading anything. So see here, they have these apps, ASUS router apps. Totally, I just want to set it and forget it. So I'm not using any of the app. I'm not connecting it to our Amazon or Alexa system or whatever connection basically they're selling to you, or whatever security they're selling to you. So yeah, so let's go on and move on to the unboxing and to the setup menu, and then to the data on the speeds, and you'll see there why I'll be keeping this one, and I've been happy with this one. So I hope it helps, but yeah, let's go through them. Okay, so this is the last contender, the ASUS AX3000, and it's of course Wi-Fi 6 smart Wi-Fi. Let's see how smart it really is. And it is the, let's see, dual band. So like the rest, I'm actually seeing which one can give me the speeds closer to a gig, or actually to get the speed, yeah, to a gig. So you see here they say 3000 Mbps. Well, you know what, okay, so the last of the contenders, ASUS AX3000 dual band RT AX3000 smart Wi-Fi. Let's see how smart it is. And of course, what I'm after is their claim to give you gigabit speed. This case, you see it there, give you, they say it's up to, for AX, 2402 Mbps, so that's 2.4 gigabit per second, but we'll see what happens really. Okay, let's open this one. Okay, as usual. Okay, app setup. Let's put it there on the side. So here they got a good app setup, but I normally, like the rest, I'll just go to the router GUI and modify this. I don't need the app because generally when I set up the router, I'd rather just leave it alone and let it do its job. Okay, so here, Wi-Fi tip. Okay, so even here, actually, so if you have a connection issue, they're familiar already with the Intel wireless adapter. If your Intel wireless adapter are listed below, please upgrade to your driver. Okay, so I think my newest computer is using Intel wireless, so I have to make sure it's updated. And okay, so update driver. Well, this is actually pretty good information that they want to make sure that your driver, the driver of your wireless card, is updated. So I will actually do this. So this is very helpful. So I will check my driver version. I think I've updated my drivers via, the usual Microsoft update, but if it's not this version, I will update it. So good info, good for ASUS for informing us on this one to make sure you're getting the speeds that you're getting. Okay, so let me put that here. Okay, so setup, nice. So they do have this quick setup, router.asus.com. I'm guessing if it's, 192.168.11 or 192.168.01, I'm not sure what, but I mean, you could go straight to router.asus.com. I remember this is also the same address that my current one, the one that I'll be replacing, is using. Okay, so good. I don't need that really. So again, with the box, I always would rather have them make it compact. This one is a bit compact. It's better than the Nighthawk box. So this one does, use a lot of their space properly. They're probably using the same box for a lot of different stuff because there's nothing here. So maybe they could have just used all of this and cut this area here, right? So you'd have a smaller package. But if they're using it on multiple items, I guess that's, that's just how, how it is. So it's cheaper like that in a way. So we got this. Okay, so similar to, okay, you know what? Quick start guide here, manual. So I will be going through the manual later. Normally I'll just go online and get the manual there. It's easier to read while you're connected to the router anyways. So okay, I suggest you go to the website too of the router you're planning to get and read the manual, or if you got it already, just read the manual while you're setting it up. Okay, so this is nice, but that's thin. Antennas are built in, similar to the one that I have. So let's see. There. Okay, you know what? Let's get it all. Get all these plastic stuff out. They could have just, oh, well, maybe it would scratch it if they had just one plastic. So look at that. They all look like ships. And then, okay, even. So I think most of them have the, the hanger thing. I never really checked, but if you want to hang it on the wall, this one has that too. So if you could see it here, it's here. So you got the hanger. Like, can you see it? Okay, so here, there, you could hang it on the wall. Then, oh, it's fair. Well, they're all hefty. This one feels hefty too. Then let's get the front LED lights. Normally I try and shut them off or just put a tape on it. So I'm not really a fan of LED lights. I just want to know that it's working. Okay, and then here's the rear part. Okay, let me flip these antennas. Get them. Push them all up. There. Okay, there. Okay, So if you could see here, so you have the port that goes to the modem. Then you have the reset button, WPS, which I never really use, but some people might use this. So yeah, that's there for connection or whatever, but I never really use them. 4 gigabit, and of course the USB port, power button, and straight to your power supply, which is this one. So basically, comes with a router, power supply, and of course the cable. I'm guessing this should be at least a 5E or probably a 6 by now. Well, I actually have a 6 connected already, so that's how it looks. You know, let's check the weight. It is 557. So let's check the weight again. Okay, so this one is 557. So they're around the same general range then. Okay. I will go ahead and test this one and we'll see which contender wins. Okay, then when you have it installed and you connected your laptop or a computer to the port, the instruction will say go to router.asus.com. They do have a wizard similar to here. And then basically it's fairly easy to set up. I don't remember having any issues with setting the ASUS up, even the values inside it. So let's just do that right now. So in general, just as this is my preference, so I actually want to separate the 2.4 versus the 5, so I know what network I'm connecting with or what bandwidth. I rarely have any device. I don't think, maybe I have an old laptop or some old stuff here that connects to 2.4, but all of our phones and laptops and PC would connect to via 5 gigahertz anyways. So let's do this that way, and then I'll just put in the same username and password for both. And then of course you'd want to enable the Wi-Fi 6 mode. I mean that's the whole point of these types of routers anyways, to get the maximum speed. So that's why it's fairly easy to kind of set this up. And then here they always ask for a new login. So which is in a way good. So before it used to be like a default username and login for the admin, but now you could create your own. So in this case, I'll just put some generic ones. So process-wise, setting this up, I'm not going to use any of the AI mesh in my case. I'm not going to use the AI protect. I'm not going to use the parental control. This one would probably be worth it to visit it if you have kids, or if you want to control the the data and the access that they are having. You probably want to go here and play around with this. But me, I'm not going to use this, and I don't need to. I don't use the QoS, Traffic Analyzer, USB application, and AI Cloud. I don't pretty much use all of it. I wish actually they'd have like the same features and then just disable all of this. I know you could connect this with your Alexa device too. Oh, here it is, like your Alexa and other smart home type thing, probably with the Google Alexa and whichever is the latest one. But I'd rather not connect it to my Alexa. I just want it to run, provide internet for us, download stuff and watch stuff and upload stuff if we want to. Basically, that's it. I wish if they could remove all of these other stuff and then put the price lower, like closer, let's say to 100, right? That or less than 100. That would be great, because a lot of these stuff it's just fluff for me. I mean, if you want to use a USB drive, or it's probably better to get a NAS system or something like that instead of the USB drive. But it's whatever. They do have a lot of the features here that I don't use that you might use. So from here, basically, I'll just go to the wireless and then make sure everything here is set properly. So we have the Wi-Fi 6 mode enabled, Wi-Fi agile multi-band. Not sure about that, because I don't remember ever trying to change much here to get the maximum speed. So on the data side later, you'll see the maximum speed that I got. But with the compared to the TP-Link, where I had to actually I had to test the values and change values to get the maximum speed. So let's look at the 5 gigahertz because this is what I'm looking at. So I have to double check if I enabled this, but I probably did not because I kind of don't remember. That's the thing with this router. When I set it up, literally I just kind of set it and forget it. So all of this here looks good to me. And then LAN, there's nothing I'm updating on the LAN side except if I set up a possibly a computer up to have a specific IP address to do a wake on LAN or something like that. That's the only time I'll probably go there. And pretty much admin here. So wireless router mode, that's the setup that I want. System. Okay, so here is pretty much where you have a lot of the options about like WPS button behavior. I don't like the LED, so I set this to turn it on and off. I normally have the LEDs just turned off, and then enable Reboot Scheduler. Yes. So in general, I'll have this set to like 3 days, something like that, and then just set a time of day, maybe at 3 in the morning, and then pretty much, yeah. Apply it. It takes a, it doesn't, it takes a bit, like waiting for it. Sometimes it'll take a bit, and sometimes it'll kick you out actually where you have to log back in. It depends on what changes you're doing. I think if on this actually in the firmware side, they actually already have a similar to TP-Link. This one was not available on my old router, so this one is really great to have. So you could have it set to, firmware update like 1 o'clock every day. It's gonna, check for firmware. Actually, let's check if there's any new updates anyways and update this router. So this one is what I had previously. It didn't have this one. So this one is great. So you don't have to always check the version. So the current version is this one. You could do a manual update if you're having issues. Download the firmware and then just use this piece right here to upload a file. Let's say you're going to upload something. Just use this piece right here. But right now it does have the auto firmware update, which is great. And then that's pretty much it. It's a set it and forget it task. It's odd though that there's no apply button here, but there's an apply button on the other main menu. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's how easy it is to set this up. Now I don't know about the other stuff like all of these apps. I'd rather not use them basically. Okay, so here is the speed comparison for the ASUS AX3000 versus the old ASUS RT AX3000 that I had that's been running for years. So same thing with the others. I have the iPhone as a test. I actually don't know what model, if it's XC or I've had it for a couple of years. So but basically it's not that old, but it's not the latest one too, but it should have this 802.11 AC Wi-Fi 2x2 MIMO. The second one is the Surface Pro. So I've had this for a couple of years too. It's older than the iPhone, and it has that Marvel Avastar wireless AC network controller. And then the latest one, the latest Wi-Fi actually I have is I call it my work PC. It's my work and gaming PC. So it uses an Intel Wi-Fi 6 AX201 160 megahertz. And then the last one is the old PC that I have. It has a Realtek PCIe gigabyte controller. So it's the whole system is old, and this one is old too. So I was never really expecting this to even reach a gigabyte, even though it says it does, just because maybe it did when it was new, but now it's been there for years. Maybe not as old as the PC, because the PC is more than a decade old. But this one is probably close to that, maybe at least 5-6 years, but definitely not in any new card. Okay, so if you look here at the download speeds, you'd see it's especially for the Office one, it is getting 900 28 Mbps. And well, the upload speed, we could actually discount this. The max upload I could do anyways is 10. So that's just the service that I have. I did contact them to try and up it, but they say the gigabit plan that I'm in only has that limit, and I have to jump into it. It's just a whole other discussion. So speeds for the iPhone 2, it's fairly good. 579 average, 2.4 gigahertz fast, 74. I mean, I don't really use 2.4. I only use it here for testing. But if you have 2.4 devices too, or you're using 2.4 devices, this router pretty much gives you for the iPhone, for the far, this one is on the end, the end bedroom, 273 Mbps, and the 2.4 gigahertz, it's 61. And the Surface slower than the iPhone, 5 gigahertz, probably because the Marvell is older anyways too, and it doesn't have the latest feature. So it's doing a 386 from the near, or I tested this in the kitchen again. Like I mentioned, it's close to the router. The router is in the family room where it's next to the TV and the other component, other stuff. And then decent 2.4 performance, and even the on the far end, it does close to 300 Mbps. Now the old PC, it's 663, so that's fine. It's we're not using it to do much anyways. But if you look down here, compare the data, you would see that there's just a big jump versus the old router. The only advantage the old router actually has is the old wired PC, which I really don't care about. But yeah, you can see that there it's pretty much, it's doing a faster a bit faster, like 1 Mbps faster or something like that. And then the downloads, the upload speed, it's 10 point something. They're all 10 point something pretty much, except for this, which I found odd, but I really don't care because I don't really use my my phones or the Surface for downloading normally, or rather, sorry, for uploading. I don't use the phone or my Surface for uploading much. It's more for emails, work, emergency emails from work, and watching stuff and doing reading stuff, and more documents. So it's not doing anything heavy uploading stuff. It's it's the download speed that I'm more concerned about when it comes to the small to the phone and the Surface device. So actually, let's go to the speeds here. You'll see the difference, basically percentage difference between AX3000 versus the old ASUS router. So you could see here there is a 86.50% increase from the old, and then 73% for the iPhone 5 gigahertz when it's close on the close end basically, and a 2% difference on the 2.4 gigahertz still, even though I mean, generally, right, the 2.4 gigahertz, the components they're fairly maxed out already, and there's a lot of devices too that could impede or interfere with it. But a 2.07 difference, that's pretty okay. And then if you see at the far end, there's a 36.53% change increase basically for the iPhone. And the far end, actually, it looks like the 2.4 gigahertz band actually had a better increase versus the 2.4 gigahertz near. I guess it's already maxed out here. So if you see it here, it has a good increase versus the old one. Now on the Surface, the 5 gigahertz, it got like 11.65. I'm guessing it didn't get that much of an increase because of the chip it has. So maybe it's not using, yeah, it definitely isn't using the latest Wi-Fi 6 AC or AX or whatever it is now, 8011, whatever AC or AX that they have. And then there's a bit of decrease on the upload speed, but it probably doesn't really matter. They're all at 10 Mbps anyways. And then the upload, actually, the download speed, actually, when it's on the far end, it was odd that, it got like close to 80% increase too. Not that I'm using this band though, because I'm generally in the 5 gigahertz. But it's nice to see that it increased like close to 80%. And on the Surface at the far end too, you would see the Surface has a almost 48.83, so let's just call it like a 50% increase versus the old one. And then on the 2.4, which I don't really use, but if you're using it, or if you have a laptop that still has that, you would still see an increase of 120% on the farther end of the location here at our place, basically. So all in all, it's pretty good. This one, don't care about. I mean, oh, there you go. The difference versus the old one is 0.14%. So yeah, that's we could discard that. So you could see the speed of the router of the AX3000, the new chipset, the new protocols that they have. It really is impressive, and it's pretty good. And actually, it's as fast as the Nighthawk. So let's review it here. So over here, you see, comparing the three of them, you'd see, ASUS and the Nighthawk, they're fairly similar. They're close to each other, actually. It would have been harder for me if Netgear, which is, I guess it's great because Netgear doesn't have the auto reboot and the auto firmware update, or even the firmware update that just makes, just updates it easily, just one click, because ASUS has that auto firmware update now. The old router that I have just had the update button and then it'll update it, but now it's actually scheduled to update, like like what you saw on the menu at early. I've set it personally at early in the morning every day. So you see there's not much difference. So it's still a little bit, but still, I mean, it's still faster by a bit. So this is why I'm keeping it. You can see the TP-Link, actually, it's fairly claiming it to be a Wi-Fi 6. It's a disappointing number, if you could see here. It's just, it's all there. Not even, it would have been better if this was like around 800 and, a little bit, at least on the iPhone and the Surface. It's close enough, but I would think just because, just because it probably doesn't have the latest chip. But if you're looking for Wi-Fi 6, this one not so much. But if you don't have, if your service is like, slower than 700, this would be a good choice for the price, because this one's cheaper. Dollar wise, it's cheaper. So I think 120 or something, if I remember right. And then let's go down below. You could see these are the fastest speeds that I got. So this one is for the work computer. So even though my service is a gigabit service, actually it's just rated to 940. They just claim it as gigabit, and you know how those terminologies are. So I'm actually reaching the maximum speed that I can, and I'm actually reaching also the maximum upload speed, because my service has a limit of uploading just 10 Mbps, which is very unfortunate. So that's just how it goes for now. But you could see this one's from the iPhone, the fastest one on the near area, which is on the kitchen side. So it could get like 629 on a good day, and the Surface could get 427 Mbps on a good day. So yeah, that's it for the data. And yeah, let's move on to finish this up. So there you have it. So in conclusion, the router really works well. The speed is good. And pretty much let's go through the bad. Actually, the bad, I really can't think of any bad stuff, but maybe it's probably not right that I would say the price would be bad, because of inflation and everything. All of the prices that's going on right now. Since there's a lot of competition too, maybe a sub 150 price would be better for this router, because they do have all of those other routers, right? Those gaming type routers and all of the other crazy routers that looks like a robot. So maybe the price could be a bit better, but it's not really a bad for me. Actually, I think in competition with the Netgear Nighthawk, they're pretty good. They're up there, right? They have the speed, they got the speed, and the price similar. So both of them. The only thing with the Nighthawk was the firmware update. I had to actually do it manually, and then it doesn't have the auto reboot. So those are the two features that is missing there. If they had it, it would have been harder for me to actually choose between the two, but thanks to Netgear's software stack basically for a router, ASUS got the win. And yeah, I'm hoping to really have a good go at it. So let's go with the good again. So the good is the speed. As you saw earlier, it's pretty fast. It's maxing out my service, which is great. I actually contacted my service because I wanted to up my upload speed, but the plan that I'm in, pretty much they didn't have any option for me to have a higher upload speed unless I go to a different, like a business plan, which I don't want to do right now. So what else? Well, yeah, the warranty too. So pretty much the warranty, it's 2 years versus the Netgear Nighthawk. And then I guess how you would say simplicity of it all, the menu, it's fairly simple to use. I didn't really have to do much or try and figure out a lot of stuff. Once I set it, they're actually, like I said earlier, it's just set it and forget it. And that's pretty much it. So yeah, I hope this helps, and if this helps, like and subscribe. Thank you again for watching.